Think about TVs, there's a really good chance the name Samsung just pops right into your head. And, well, there's a reason for that. They haven't just competed in the TV market, for almost 20 years they have absolutely owned it.
Take a look at this number, 17. For 17 years in a row, Samsung has been the #1 TV brand in the entire world.
And no, that's not a typo. Since 2006, more people have bought a Samsung TV than any other brand out there, year after year. It is a truly staggering run of dominance.
But here's the real kicker. It wasn't always this way. Samsung used to be known as a follower, a budget brand. So how on earth did a company once seen as a copycat manage to completely take over the living room? Well, their story is all about bold vision and even bolder risks.
To get this, we have to go back in time, back to when Samsung was playing a very different role, not as a leader, but as a company just trying to keep up.
So back in the 80s and early 90s, the TV market was a whole different world. It was ruled by these big, established Japanese and European giants. Samsung, they were the budget option, a brand that pretty much imitated the innovators and honestly had a reputation for lower quality. They were in the game, for sure, but they were definitely not winning it. And then, everything changed. A decision came from the very top that would completely rewrite Samsung's destiny.
This quote really says it all. In 1993, Chairman Lee Kun-hee laid down this radical mandate. He wasn't talking about small tweaks. This was a call for a total reinvention of the company. He knew that to stop being a follower, Samsung had to change its entire DNA. So they drew up a whole new playbook. Suddenly, design was priority #1, not some afterthought. They started pouring billions into research and development to create their own tech, and they began the long, hard work of building a premium brand. This was basically their blueprint for a total transformation.
Okay, so with this new philosophy in place, Samsung charged into the tech arena. And they weren't just there to compete anymore, they were there to lead. And that meant making some huge, risky bets.
In the early 2000s, the industry was kind of split between plasma and LCD technology. A lot of competitors played it safe, but Samsung, they went all in on LCD. They bet the farm that they could master this really complex manufacturing process and churn out panels at a scale nobody else could touch. It was a massive gamble on what the future of TV would look like, and it put them in the perfect spot for the decade to come.
And from there, their push forward was just relentless. In 2006, the Bordeaux TV was this huge design statement that sold millions. By 2010, they'd launched the first ever TV App Store. Then came these huge leaps like SUHD and QLED, using amazing tech like quantum dots to make pictures brighter and more colorful. They just kept redefining what a premium TV could be.
So, what happened after all these years of focusing on design, R&D, and building that premium brand? Well, the numbers really speak for themselves.
This is what dominance looks like. At over 30% of the global market share by revenue, Samsung isn't just leading. They're in a completely different league. They're making almost as much money as their next two biggest competitors combined. This right here is the payoff for that massive transformation.
So when you look at it, Samsung's 17-year reign is really a masterclass in strategy. This wasn't some overnight success story. It was the result of a really bold vision that was set all the way back in 1993 and then followed by decades of disciplined, relentless execution.
But, as we all know, in the world of tech, no throne is safe forever. The battle that Samsung won yesterday is already shifting, and the fight for tomorrow looks very, very different.
All these new challenges are popping up. You've got competing technologies like OLED gaining a lot of ground. The way we all watch TV is totally different. We're all streaming now. And it's not just the old TV makers in the game anymore. You have these super agile tech companies all fighting for a spot in your living room as the TV becomes the hub for the entire smart home.
Which leaves us with a final, really fascinating question. The strategy that got Samsung to the top was absolutely brilliant. But is it going to be enough to keep them there? In a world where we're surrounded by screens of all shapes and sizes, the fight for our attention and for the future of the living room is really just getting started.